This video is going to be about the June 23rd patch. Just a quick note that I think there's been way too many patches, way too often, too drastic. Some of these characters that we're going to look at, some of the character changes we're going to look at are super drastic, and it's not fair to the players who use those characters, especially with the big tournament CEO coming up soon. So here are just a couple tweets of some big names in the community expressing what they feel. I pretty much agree with everything. And I really hope that some of these people, like the Devora mains and the Scorpion mains, don't get too discouraged. But I mean, it's pretty hard playing this game and practicing, knowing that what you're practicing might not even exist in the game anymore in a couple months or even a couple weeks. So yeah, keep that in mind, and let's get on to the balance changes. The game got some bug fixes, and the PS3 controllers work a lot better on the PS4 now, which is great. But let's just start with Devora. Swarm Queen, very technical character, very good character. She got some pretty big nerfs. 2 frames less advantage if she cancels the forward 1-1-2 string, which has a lot of block stun, and 3 frames lost. 3 frames of advantage lost every time she does a run cancel from down forward 1 in Swarm Queen, which might match her Broodmother variation where she has to hold the bug out a little bit. Probably not as much, but yeah, this is a big blow. She loses 5 frames of advantage on forward 1-1-2 run cancel, which before the patch was reportedly plus 16, so now it's plus 11. Doesn't get to block string into a mix-up option, which I guess is fair, but whatever. Her back 1 combo still exists, it's just harder, despite being already really hard. Her forward 2-2 run cancel cannot combo into forward 1 anymore, so that's a big damage nerf. Back 1 run cancel and forward 2-2 run cancel are still safe, but it's a big deal making her combos even harder, and some of her options don't exist anymore. Big nerfs. Cassie gets 1 change. It's not a big deal, but especially up close, where gun used to be punishable on hit. You still don't want to use it up close, but in zoning battles, being +2 instead of -9 is a big deal. In zoning battles, if she gets that single gunshot, she's slightly plus, so she gets to do more stuff. So that's a decent buff. Now, I'm not an Ermac player, but it just looks like his hitboxes work better now, and he does more damage, so that's good. As for Aaron Black, it's an interesting change. Now down 3 on hit will not, and canceled into the command grab will not let him actually land the command grab. On block it'll still work, so down 3 on block and a command grab still works. So you can watch one of my other videos, which involves Ferrotor. You can option select the down 3 to cancel in a command grab only on block, and on hit it just doesn't come out and you can do something else. Looks like some Ferrotor damage buffs. Goro got increased advantage on hit on a lot of his things, so he can continue his pressure after he hits you with command grab or some of his other moves. I'm not a Goro player, so I'm not too familiar with these moves, but it seems like a good amount of buffs, but nothing too crazy. Jackie's anti-air kick, it is only 1 hit, despite being like 2 button presses. Has a name now. It's a great name. And I'm not too familiar with Jason, but he got some buffs on the consistency of his hitboxes. And I don't know what Dark Pursuit is. If it's a teleport, that's good, I guess. Yeah. Jax has a bug fix. Nothing too crazy. Unfortunately, he didn't get the more consistent combos on females that everyone wanted. And Johnny Cage, his fisticuffs thing, which I thought was a gimmick, but whatever. It got severely nerfed. Now the every 4th hit is not 0 on block instead of -3, so always at a disadvantage when he tries to reset the string. And the start of the funny fisticuff string is 10 frames instead of 9, which is probably a big deal. Kano got some of the best buffs in the entire patch. His Black Dragon Ball Enhanced is a combo extender, so you can combo into it and then combo out of it, so 4 extra damage on that is pretty significant. Uprise Ball gets a small damage increase and is only now -5 on block, down from -27, so goes from being very unsafe to very safe. He joins Cassie as having a very fast armor move that is safe on block, which is kind of ridiculous. Although Cassie can combo off hers, Kano's would assume has better range than Cassie's. EX flip. Commando Kano, the grappler variant, now has a safe choke and strangle. I'm not sure what move that is, but I'm sure that he can fish into it safely now and get a knockdown if it hits and go into his grappler mix-up. So very, very solid bust for him, and I wish more characters got something like he did. After coming from the last patch where Kenshi got a whole bunch of buffs, he gets 5 more changes. They are interesting. It looks like a couple of them are making him easier to play. The bug fixes his combos scale properly now, so he loses a little bit of damage. Possessed gets the sickle lift juggle height change. So before, if you juggled them before sickle lift, they would be juggled higher after the move. And if you did it from grounded, it was really hard to combo after it. But now it will probably lift them higher. If it lifts them lower, then that's a pretty severe nerf. So I'm pretty sure that it lifts him higher, and now he has more consistent combos. Kenjutsu gets the telestrike nerf. I'm not sure what move that is. Sorry. Now Katana gets a whole bunch of buffs. This is probably the patch they were waiting for. Now I looked through these buffs, and I'm not a Katana main, so I'm not too familiar with her moves. But down one getting the fan hitbox, so probably more range on the down one, a la MK9, which sounds really, really good. Rising Blades can now be special cancelled, which to me sounds like I think Rising Blades is the special move where she jumps into the air with the blades. And so I'm guessing she can cancel that into air specials, like air fan. So hopefully that'll combo and lead to more meter building combos for her, I guess. I mean, she didn't really have problems dealing damage. Second hit fan hit in enhanced fan toss is now mid. Woohoo, whoop-de-doo. EX moves and zoning are not great unless they are the meter burn versions of Quan Chi's Rune or Chinook's 3 Fireball. So yeah, that isn't too crazy of a change. And then she gets a bunch of frame changes, frame advantage on block, pretty much reductions. So now she can poke more safely, it looks like. I don't know how that really helps her. Royal Storm gets hard knockdowns on her Square Boost and Square Wave, which I believe are the really fast lunging attacks with her butt. Assassin gets a much faster parry, which is nice because that parry was pretty useless at 18 frames. Reduced meter gain, so you can't spam it for meter. Mournful gets easier juggle combos after those air moves, which is, I guess that's okay, and Shadow Kick are faster. I don't think those are too crazy of changes, so she got a lot of changes. I don't know if they're the ones that she really needed, but the down one change is actually quite nice. Of course, I don't know the frame data on it, so I don't know if that's still makes it bad or good or whatever, but extra range on down one, always a good sign, in my opinion. Kotal Khan gets a bug fix and improved hitbox on Sun God Choke, his command grab in Sun God, so that's good, I guess. Kung Jin now crouches, goes into ducking state when he does his low projectile, so he can duck under stuff when he zones. Kung Lao's meter gain glitch got removed, which is really nice for tournament organizers. Tempest lost about 4% per hat spin combo, which honestly is fine just because hat spin is safe, -4 on block, and the orbiting hat is like plus quite a bit. So losing damage on that is fine. Tempest did a lot of damage. He doesn't have that great a mix-up, but his pressure was really good. Hat Trick got a lot of really noticeable buffs that, in my opinion, I think are really good ideas. Most notably are that his low hat callback is now low, and the recovery on him setting the hat traps has been reduced quite a bit. 25 frames for the high one and 15 frames for the medium, the mid and low hat trap sets. That's a large amount of frames, and I think before that he was like hat trick was just such a bad idea because it took too long to set up the hat and he lost so many moves. Now that it takes less time to set up the hat, maybe hat trip can be played more effectively. I have heard that there's less block stun on the hat trip return, making him a little less safe to do stuff with the hat return, but I feel like the lower recovery on setting the hat more than makes up for it. I don't know anything about Liu Kang. It looks like the Flame Fist has some multi-hitting moves. I played against Flame Fist once. He has some multi-hitting moves that I guess are special cancelable now. Good for him. Duelist has the low delayed fireball, the fireball that detonates delayed. It's now a low, so maybe he can do hard to blockable setups with that. As for his other changes, I mean, hitbox changes. Now he ducks during low fireball. Good for him. Melina got some hitbox fixes as well, including the extremely needed down one change where she used to always whiff down one because she pushed you out of the way and it had bad range. So now her down one works, hopefully. She has better hit advantage on some of her moves, especially in Ravenous. Ethereal now works, I guess, and she has combos after her teleports, and piercing low side ducks things now. That ethereal thing might be quite interesting. Well, I'll wait for the Melina forums to see what she can combo after. Quan Chi literally got 2 bug fixes. Can't roll after X-ray and can get thrown after a successful portal stab. I really hope for him to get normalized. I think he's really strong. Apparently the top players don't think he's super strong, but I do. And I'm really surprised he didn't get touched, but he didn't. So there's that. Whatever. Alright, so they finally gave the other variants of Raiden some decent things. Forward 1-2, back 2 is a new string. The forward 1-2 is the same as Thunder God, but the back 2 is similar to Displacer and Master of Storms. Follow up to the forward 2 2+4 string, the 2+4. It's a lunging mid, +2 on block. If it's still +2 on block on that forward 1-2 back 2 string, that would be really cool, really good. As we all know, forward 1 is 6 frames. Somebody already, Dizzy, the Raiden player, actually already found a pretty damaging combo from mid-screen using the forward 1-2 back 2 string, and maybe it's a new day for those other variations. I'm really glad that they paid some attention to them. Back 3-4 is a low starter, back 3 is low, back 3-4 is like it knocks him down instead of back 3-3. Back 3-3 leaves him standing. So I'm not really sure why they made back 3-4 special cancelable now. I don't even know why they put it in the game, but maybe it's good. And Thunder God does less damage on chip. So yay, more Thunder God nerfs. We'll have to see if Master of Storms becomes actually worth playing, because Thunder God still has the lightning run cancel, but if forward 1-2 back 2 is good enough for the other variations, maybe Master of Storms is more worth playing now. The only thing that maybe makes it not worth playing is that the other variations don't have back 3-2 hold that Thunder God has, which is the low into the held lightning string. Can't speak too much about Reptile, not very familiar with him. What it looks like is most of his other moves got damage buffs, but his stand 3, which is what he used in a corner combo in Nimble, got damage reduction. So overall his damage got increased, except for that corner combo got damage nerfs. Scorpion got some big nerfs, Hellfire Scorpion in particular, to the 2-1-4 string, which apparently was bugged, did too much block stun. The 2-1-4 run cancel used to be +20, 2-1-4 dash cancel used to be +5, which is kind of ridiculous. Now it is at least -6, the dash cancel, and gets punished by Cassie's flip kick, which is 6 frame startup. And the run cancel is slightly plus, so probably a reduction of at least 11 11 frames of advantage, which is quite a bit. Feel sorry for those guys. This is one of those characters where, even though he was extremely strong, the nerfs to him right now are so drastic that it pretty much. I'm assuming every Hellfire Scorpion player is going to drop him. Ninjutsu, he got some damage buffs, but I don't know if that's what that character really needed. Anyway, yeah, Hellfire Scorpion nerfs seem, and they affect the other variants too, but they seem so drastic. Some of his previous combos are now impossible. Chinook actually got some crazy changes. So hitbox fix is good. Necromancer got some better zoning and damage. Bone Shaper got some crazy things, which is that his Dark Beam projectile is now +8 on hit from -14, and his Deity combo can now be 2-in-1 canceled on hit. So now it used to not be able to be special canceled. Now it can be special canceled. And that move leaves them standing. So you special cancel that into the Dark Beam, and you're +8 on hit on a standing opponent. So I just saw that on Test Your Might forums. Really cool tech. You can juggle into it, it'll restand them, and he'll be +8. So that's really cool. Sonya got some hitbox fixes. Her dive kick, which is airdrop, has more whiff recovery. That seems like a big deal. Energy Blast was made into a mid instead of a high, and -5 on block from -15 to, it seems, that's a pretty good buff. So it seems like she traded off the effectiveness on whiffing the dive kick and doing the fireball. That means that covert ops Sonya probably will be able to do the overhead low string and cancel it into the fireball and only be -5 because it's a mid. So she's a little safer on that. Her dive kick worse. Okay, whatever. Covert ops, parry got fixed. Demolition, I don't think got the changes she needed. It took a long time. It takes a long time to get the grenades back. And all that they did was they increased the advantage on the boomer combo, which involves grenades of somehow, and they increased the damage and hit stun on the grenade attacks, which I don't think was a big deal. So unless she can pull out more grenades from hitting you with the grenades, I don't think she got the changes she needed. Takeda, it seems like just some bug fixes and some graphical fixes, updating the hitboxes to match the graphics. Tanya, probably the biggest loser, as everyone expected. Her EX teleport is not armored anymore, and she can't act after it as fast anymore, so it's definitely less safe. The Kobujutsu got some bug fixes, and if she delays her Rekkas on block, they can be more easily punished. Pyromancer gets a buff, is what it looks like. The fireballs do more pushback. Otherwise, no changes to Dragon Naginata, which is one of the more played ones. Does a lot of damage, has some pretty inconsistent combos on bigger characters. But yeah, no changes there. So she's still pretty good, just doesn't have as safe of a reversal, so her EX teleport isn't as crazy anymore. She has to revert to using the low or overhead reversal, which is already pretty ridiculous that she can mix you up on her wake up. Anyway, the real biggest loser is, as I said earlier at the beginning of the video, the players who are trying to attend tournaments, the players who are practicing things that now don't work, stuff like that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next patch. Hopefully, it won't be for a while, but if it will, I'll make another video like this one. Thanks for watching.